If it's meant to be, it's up to me, creating and maintaining the company culture. And who's in charge of the company culture, Ray?
I am as an individual. I am as a teammate.
The mindset that I think it takes is that extreme ownership, which is everything is my fault. Everything going on in the company is my fault. Stop blaming. Stop asking yourself a why victim question and start asking yourself that what action question. If you're unable to go all in, go find another place that you can go all in, because your family deserves for you to go all in. Why only give 75%? Go all in. Give it everything. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the Wisdom of Wrench podcast. I am your host, Kevin Comerford, and in studio today to talk about this culture topic and common service language is my great buddy, my great partner, my great friend over the last 30 years, Mr. Ray Diaz. Ray, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kevin. And you always introduce me so well that way. I want to make sure you know that you are my great friend, my mentor, somebody I've looked up for years in my experience with you and your family. So, hey, it's all right back at you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray. Ray and I are talking about a topic that he and I actually discussed last week. We're writing a book together about the journey that we went on together to build, the making of a champion, to build a great company together, 500 plus team members. And one of the concepts that we were talking about with our writer was, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And it came up last week, and I'm like, Ray, this is perfect for our podcast. This is it. It's going to be a quick one today, because I really think this one is one that's to the point. We're going to be very clear with the three objectives or the 3 points that we're going to make, because the topic, once again, is if it's meant to be, it's up to me regarding creating and maintaining the company culture at my company. So if it's meant to be, it's up to me is so big when it comes to company culture. I'm in charge, Ray. I'm the magic bullet. Me. When I say me, anybody that's out there that's watching this, you're the magic bullet when it comes to creating the culture that you want inside your company. And like I said, we're going to talk about 3 things today, Ray. We're going to talk about the mindset that it takes to live. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. We're going to talk about the example that you or I or whoever you are need to bring in order to live that statement. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And the third thing we're going to talk about is, how do you influence others to join in on this journey? We have talked about company culture and how important it is, Ray. And who's in charge of the company culture, Ray? Who's in charge?
I am.
So Ray Diaz is?
I am as an individual. I am as a teammate. I'm part of a team. So all of us are, but I have power over me. So I have to first take ownership myself. I have to first live it. I have to make sure all my decisions are made by culture, live the culture. They have to see that first, and just so that I can influence the others to have it continue to live on.
Yeah, I want to jump right into the first concept, which is the mindset that it takes to live that. When you hear me say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. What mindset does that in your mind, or what does that in your belief, Ray, that does it take? What is it? Is it one that is the total ownership
Well, I think total ownership, and we're talking our culture, our core values, who we are at Service Champions, but in life itself, first I have to believe. I have to believe in what we're espousing to be. I have to believe. So let's take core values. I have to believe in the core values. If I don't really believe in the core values of Service Champions, then I really shouldn't be here, because there's just no way in the world I can be an example for our core values. I believe them first. I believe them. I live them. I think they have to have a huge effect on our company and its success. So it starts there. And I have to be an example for the people around me. They see that I do live them. I do then the core value and situation, the core values that I use those to make decisions every day. So, and it's up to me. So my future is up to me. The goals I'm setting are up to me. My investment in myself, whatever it is, I have to believe it first.
So, Ray, do you think the founders of our country had that mindset?
I feel they totally
belief
do.
Of
absolutely
ownership.
Well, obviously, it took a lot of rugged individualists that had to go out and make it happen. They had to survive every day to do what they had to do to farm, to ranch, to whatever they had to do to survive and feed their families. And there was not a big government or something to take care of them. So they were the pioneers of if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I have to go out into this wilderness and build a life for myself. And I don't think it's much different today. I think today successful people they have teams, but they have individually, they have to have a mentality that if I'm to survive and be successful, it's up to me. I can't wait for government or some other entity to come in and take me through a carriage through life. I have to be the one that carries on and grows my life, my family, my business. It's up to me. You know that better than anybody, being an entrepreneur, starting your business. Nobody helped you, Kevin. I was with you, but you got out there and you made it happen with no help from anybody. So,
the mindset, just to piggyback what you're saying, that I think it takes is that extreme ownership, which is everything is my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Everything going on in the company is my fault.
And I've always agreed with you.
Everything bad that goes on and that happens in my family is my fault. Everything is my fault. So get over it, Kevin. Mm-hmm. Stop blaming. Mm-hmm. Stop asking yourself a why victim question and start asking yourself that what action question. What can I do? Okay, I see the situation. I see that maybe fewer people showed up at a company event than what they used to. Okay, I can complain and bitch, or I can take the mindset of, okay, what is it that I can do? Okay, maybe what I can do is before the next event, I could really go around and, start asking people questions and encouraging them. But it's easy to bitch and complain and poke fun and, it's just not the way that it used to be. Wait. What kind of mindset is that? Everything is my fault is the opposite of that. Mm-hmm. Everything is my fault. When I'm mad or frustrated at my wife, I guarantee you, Ray, there's something else going on inside of me that is causing that frustration. Let me give you another example, and I might have shared this on a prior podcast. I'm doing it again. I'm on a plane. 2 rows back, there's a baby crying. Right? I can get so angry. I can get so mad. I can get so frustrated. What in the world? Why would they bring that baby? How could they allow that baby to be crying? And I've now been awake for the last 4 hours because this baby, has been crying on this trip from Boston to San Francisco. How is that? So how is that my fault? Well, if you take the mindset that everything is my fault, what could I have done differently? Maybe I could have brought my headphones It changes everything for me. What could I have done? Well, maybe I'll make sure I have my AirPods next time and they're charged or whatever it is, so that instead of spending the time bitching and complaining, I'm working on the solution. Solve versus blame.
You remind me so often, because I went through some issues early in my career with you when people didn't show up to events, and I would get upset, and I would be that person. I said, why would you not be here for this wonderful thing we just did? And you always reminded me, your father said, hey, people make the party, and focus on the people who did arrive. Make sure that the event is fun. Make sure everything is good for them. You know, it's lead by example. It's if these people are all having fun, other people will want to gather and have fun as well. And also, you know, it's taking ownership of that. I heard a comment by a longtime teammate, Service Champions, made a comment about, well, you know, Ray and Kevin aren't there. Well, I was there. But anyway, Ray and Kevin aren't there. And so I had a conversation with him, and I said, so this is his career. And we talked about him taking ownership of our culture, our core values, whatever it is. If he wants to continue on and have a great career, then it's really, it's up to him as well to get out there and be part of this and carry on the legacy of Service Champions. Because he's right, we're not around like we used to be. And so I want to just encourage all my teammates, especially the leaders in the organization, to make sure that they've made decision to take ownership of the culture and the core values and everything. So again, they all work as a team to continue the legacy. And I don't believe, I have faith that they will.
Go all in.
Yes.
Ray, since I've known you, you've gone all in.
Absolutely.
And that is what has made you special. Mm-hmm. If you're unable to go all in, go find another place that you can go all in. It's kind of like what you said earlier. If you're lacking belief, that's okay. Go find a place you can go all in, because your family deserves for you to go all in when it comes to your the financial component of what you bring to the table. They are counting on you. So why go half-ass? Why only give 75%? Go all in. Give it everything.
It's letting these people know, I say these people, teammates of Service Champions, that they were part of the success of Service Champions. It wasn't just Ray and Kevin. Here's Ray and Kevin, but just two people. Okay, two great people, but two people, right? So that they are the reason the Service Champions has been successful. They are part of that. That they 100%. And give them the opportunity to now take that legacy themselves and move on, because now they understand, wow, I was part of this. It wasn't just Ray. It wasn't just Kevin. It was me too. This was mine. This is me. I'm going to fight and keep this machine running.
And it's going to be bigger and better than ever.
Yes.
And I agree with that. Well, good. We're clear on the mindset. Second thing I want to talk about today when it comes to if it's meant to be, it's up to me with regards to culture, is how I'm the example. The words that I use, the attitude that I bring, how I dress in the morning, how I show up. Can you share a little bit about that, Ray?
Super important to me, and you've heard me say it all the time. It's funny. I just gave a class on this yesterday. It's the power of consistency. So we can use that as an example. That's what I taught yesterday to the new cadets, is to be successful every day is you have to have the power of consistency. That means getting up on time, being dressed right, being shirt tucked in my vehicle on time, being places on time. I'm committed to be to a teammate's, an employee, a client's home. If I'm supposed to be at a meeting in the morning, a training class or something, that I'm the first person there, that I'm on time, and I'm consistent about following a process and procedure. Just those simple, slight edge things that I do every day. It sets an example not only for people around me, but for me. That's me taking ownership of this culture, of this process, of who we are every day. And the little things, it's my attitude that I choose every day. Mm-hmm. Do I choose a successful, positive attitude, and taking care of people around me, being around others? You used to always talk about, dogs have fleas. So who am I hanging around? Mm-hmm. Am I hanging around with a dog with fleas? I'm going to get fleas. Am I hanging around with, nice dogs with no fleas? I'm going to be successful. Yeah.
Yeah. And how important it is, just the way that you walk across the room, mm-hmm. The encouraging words mm-hmm. that you leave with others. Mm-hmm. I'll say it, the greatest exercise for your heart is to be able to pick someone else up. Mm-hmm. What words am I using? Are they words of encouragement to build up others, or am I tearing people down with mm-hmm. my words? That is what creates the culture. Mm-hmm. And if people see you doing that, if they intentionally see you talking well about other people, mm-hmm. they will begin doing it mm-hmm. as well. So be intentional. I remember we were on a call or a podcast with Michael Mullins, and he was very intentional about talking positive about his other teammates mm-hmm. because he said what he was hearing was people talking negative about other teammates. Mm-hmm. So he went the opposite way and said, I'm going to be intentional about always talking positive when a name comes up. Oh, and if they say something like out of line about that person, you can make a comment like, that doesn't sound like Barbara and something Barbara would do. The Barbara that I know is much different than that. So it's almost like flipping the conversation, but taking ownership of the culture and the poison that can be spewed around the company just from our words.
These things are, which you used to always say to me, these are things that are easy to do. And they're also easy not to do. And I learned from you 30 years ago about, we start walking through a room, just picking people up. And I still do today. I can't even sit down at my desk. I throw my stuff, like today, I showed up here, I throw my stuff down in a pod out there and I took off. And I probably spent 15, 20 minutes walking around this building. And the light that we bring people, any of us can, and any leader in the company can do it. It's easy to do. Do I take the time to do it? Do I invest my time, that 15, 20 minutes, talking to people and the energy change? And I've watched you do it. The energy change in the room after you walk through the room, you've been in that room for 10 or 15 minutes and you leave. I've seen it. Not just, I'm taking credit for me doing it. I've watched you do it, and the room changes energy. That to me is like a small investment in culture. And if it is to be up to me, that's you saying, hey, it's up to me to, I'm not going to wait for everybody else to have a great attitude. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to help them. I'm going to be it for them.
Yeah.
And let that fester.
The third concept and final concept that I want to talk about with regards to this is, okay, I got the right mindset, Ray. I'm now being the example. How do I influence others? How do I get others to buy into the core values that I buy into? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that always comes back to me is I got to be careful with beating people over the head with it. So it's always like, if I start saying like, come on, man, you can start living core value number one better.
Nothing more of a turnoff than that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Forget about influence. Yeah. I mean, dude, you're not living the have fun and enjoy the moment. Yeah. Whatever core value it is. Like, how do you flip that switch when it comes to influence? I've got a couple thoughts on this that I'd like to share, and that I'd like you to pick up on it. Because I've always believed that the first thing I have to do is I have to manage my question to statement ratio. Meaning, if I make statements, I'm done. My influence is done. Hey, I think we all need to be living core value number one better, give remarkable service. Instead, if I ask a question, hey, let's talk about how core value number one is showing up at our company. Let's talk about this. Hey, team, what do you think it is we can do to maybe live core value number 3, honor our commitments better. And get people to think. Get them to buy in. Because once I say, hey, you guys, we got to be better at living core value number 3, honor our commitments, I have just lost everybody. They have just tuned me out. I have just failed to manage my question to statement ratio. When I get others to think, that's when they create their own culture. That's when they create their own an alignment with the value itself. They have to be able to do that. You want to add anything on that, Ray?
Well, it's just what comes to mind is some training I do with the text again, and it's a fill in the blanks document that says, if it's the client's idea, if I can get the client to say it's their idea to do something, it's great. It's a fantastic idea. But if it's my idea and I'm pushing it on them, it sucks. Okay, and so that's how I teach the text. It's the same thing, I believe. What the best way we can, and we do, that's one an exercise we do go through in our centers is talking about our wow stories, and they're very culture oriented. So how did that relate to a core value? I have discussions in a team, so I'm not saying it. I'm getting them, what you're saying. I'm asking them to share, and they're sharing the way they lived the core value, an example of how they lived it with a client or the teammate or something. The more we can have them talking about it, it's them saying it. It's not you and I or the managers or the GM saying it. They're talking about how they live those core values with a client and with their teammates. That to me is the most impactful.
So being able to carry a conversation around core values is super critical. Being able to carry a conversation around the culture that we want at the company is super critical. And being the leader, because if you lead, the world will follow. Mm-hmm. And doing it, Ray, you said it earlier, another way to influence is if they see you doing it with energy, if they see you doing it with enthusiasm, if you recognize and understand that you are the sunshine and light, that individual service technician is the sunshine, has the opportunity to be the sunshine and light amongst all the other techs in that room. If they understand that, the power that they have, or the power that they choose not to have, it is unbelievable. The power is in their hands.
Yeah, I'll just add, it's yes, I do all those things. I live it. I have all this energy, and I live our core values. I live our culture every day, but I do it from my heart. I believe in it. It is who I am. It's what I want in my life. I want it. To look to do that in some fake or fraudulent way, people are going to see through that. So I'm going to say it has to be from your heart. It has to be real. Otherwise, the team's not really going to see it. So,
and it's so much more fun to work from your heart. It's so much more fun.
It's fun, much more.
Yeah. All right. I think we're ready to wrap, Ray.
Awesome.
We talked about 3 things. We talked about the mindset it takes to live. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And the mindset is extreme ownership. Everything is my fault. Asking yourself a what action question versus a why victim question. The power of being the example. Recognizing that it's the words that you use, how you dress, understanding the wake that you leave. Be the example. Be the one that talks about the core values. Be the one that lives them. That's how, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, works through our culture. And then the final one is, Ray, once you got the mindset, once you're being the example, how do you influence others? Boy, we talked about that. It's creating a conversation and asking a lot of questions. Even though it's so much easier to make statements, it's when you want to get your point across, ask a question to get others to think, to get others to buy in, to get others to believe. Do it with enthusiasm, do it with energy, and boy, oh boy, you will see that you will begin influencing others. Any closing thoughts, Ray?
taking people down paths of discovery, Kevin. When you're asking questions, helping people come to the light, but asking them questions like you're saying. You ask them the right questions, you take them down that path of discovery, and they discover for themselves the core values, the culture, and the light of what we do.
The culture of your company is in your hands. You're in charge. And if you live that, you will always make your future bigger than your past. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's to a bigger future. Thanks very much. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.